everybody, we are back
Hello.
again. After a bit of a break, and we have got company. Company in one of the OGs. Ritvik, it's glad to have you back.
Thank you, Suned. I'm really glad to be back now.
I know.
And you should say he's back with a new haircut, that has to be
Yeah.
emphasized.
Trying to keep things fresh.
Can't say anything against it, to be honest. Yeah, we need stuff. Okay, and Farooq, regulars for a while now. Before we get into the main crux of today's episode, I guess we should observe a moment of silence for Barcelona, who signed an oil merchant. An oil merchant straight out of the very wealthy wells of Dubai. Adama Traore. He's back in Spain, back to his childhood club. Any thoughts?
Yeah,
Great signing. Oh, okay, yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, okay, fine. For me personally, the thing is for me, I don't see why Adama Traore moved to Barcelona, because I think he had a better offer on the table from Spurs, especially with Antonio Conte. Because of his ability to use him to turn players into right wing backs. He's done it before. He's legendary about it, and I think personally that would have been a better move for Adama, because we know he has issues in the final third. But then his ability with the ball, his pace and everything, I think that fits the Premier League, and Antonio Conte probably would have found a way to develop it better. And with Barcelona, he's not guaranteed that he will stay there after 6 months. So personally,
people are going to just park the bus. So where exactly is going to Adama Traore run into? Like Xavi's pocket? I don't know. It's a question only time will tell.
Yeah. So that's my issue. I think he probably should have gone to Spurs instead of Barcelona from his point of view. But I understand the pull of Barcelona being at home club is probably something, but overall I think he should probably have gone to.
I think for Barca it's like a risk-free thing, because it's like you don't have an obligation to buy. You're not paying a loan fee, if I'm not mistaken, based on the reports I read. So that's just it. It's I don't know, if it works, perfect. If it doesn't work, you send him back without any how can I say, without any opportunity cost in the transaction itself. And on the other hand, for Adama, it's like, I don't know. It would have been logical to go to to Spurs and Conte, and as Mo Artist said,
the thing is, I wonder, like, does Barcelona have their own protein powder merchandise or something? Because they hired a bodybuilder to advertise it for 6 months. Okay. Like, I can't lie.
And you're gonna get the endorsements, man. Now you see baby oils are gonna, like, Barcelona can get endorsement from baby oil companies, man. That's just it.
Johnson, oh my God, they're in for a gold mine.
But Barcelona could use the money.
Maybe endorsement. Maybe that's why they got him. But I do have one question about him. Where do you think Barca will play him? Like, what position will he actually play according to you all?
As things stand, I probably, because from the reports I have read, one of the biggest pitches to him to go to Barcelona was the fact that he was actually going to play in attack instead of the wing-back position, which Conte was going to use him in. So I think that's going to be an option for him. But with Xavi, the thing is, like, he alternates. He uses wing-back sometimes he goes with the old 4-3-3. So I wouldn't be surprised if for some games we do see him as a right wing-back.
Like, I was just looking at some stats, and I mean, barring a few, he's just a subpar player. I mean,
below average.
Definitely. For me, the thing is, as Suned pointed out, I think the thing is, he's not really good in the final third, right?
Yeah. He's
as an attacker,
absolutely bad.
Yeah, so I don't really see the utility of.
Do you guys agree if I say Adama Traore is like the old Vinicius?
He is, but like a worse form of Vinicius.
No, I don't think there's a comparison with Vinicius.
Not a comparison per se, but he's just bad. Like, except his dribbling, I don't think anything he brings to the table for Barca.
Actually, last year or 2 years ago, that was Vinicius as well. Like, he could dribble everyone and miss an empty post.
Yeah.
So like that's my point I'm trying to make. Like also like Adama is also very exciting until when he has to make a decision.
Yeah. His decision making sucks.
That's the thing. Like I don't know.
But the thing is like even his dribbling, it's not of the level that he can get into the Wolves team. If I'm not wrong, and maybe Ritvik can provide us with the stats. The thing is, he has
Actually,
not started enough games this year.
His dribbling completed. He has not started enough games, but his dribbling completed is in the 99th percentile. So that's pretty good considering whatever he has.
One thing you also have to remember here is that like Wolves had a change of coach. Like Bruno Lage came after like Santo left. But before like under Santo, like he was one of the best, if not the best. He wasn't not even if not. He was the best dribbler along with Wilfred Zaha in the Premier League actually.
Yeah.
So when Bruno Lage came and then he changed the tactics and all that. So I think that was why like Traore himself could not actually adapt to that, and then he moved to the bench actually.
Yeah, I think the thing is like he doesn't really bring any utility to the team. I'm not exactly sure about his assist stats either. But the thing is like
His
when you don't have
is abysmal. It's in the 15th.
Yeah. I think
so that's the point. The thing is like if you cannot bring
he performed for 2 seasons, I think the 2018 season and the 2019 season. Those are the 2 seasons where he was actually like he had actually both goals and assists combined with about 15 goals and assists combined in those 2 seasons. Other than that, like he's not actually performed like given because he was at Middlesbrough and then I don't know, he went to Wolves and all those things. Like he's even when he came to Wolves at first, like he wasn't even a starter. To be honest, like it's still like I feel like he just needs that coach, That's why actually I thought like, to Mo's point earlier, like if he had gone to like Antonio Conte, this is someone with a proven track record. Because the point is that someone who can win the league with Victor Moses as a starting fullback, to be honest, that guy he's crazy. He's just a pure magician, to be honest. Because even I'm Nigerian, I know that Victor Moses wasn't that good, So the point is, I felt like if, like, by saying that, like, I don't Traore go in there, like, and he's at the right age. If I'm not mistaken, he's 25 or 26, I'm not sure. Like, he would have gotten the right coach because we know that Conte can do this. He's shown us time.
Oh, wait. I know what Farouk is aiming at. Like, I think Traore needs a guy like Stifler. If you guys have watched American Pie, guy like Stifler to put his arm around him and help him get the job done. Yes. So I think we can all agree that he is a foreplay merchant. But moving on to better transfers, Ferran Torres.
Ferran Torres.
He seems to be a baller. What do you guys think of him?
Okay, if I go first, the thing is like I like Fran Torres. He was one of the players that I wanted at Madrid. And the thing is like Real Madrid actually followed Ferran Torres for a while. And I think we tried to sign him before he went to City. Real Madrid, they wanted him to run his contract down and sign us for a free. But the thing is like he wanted Valencia to get a fee for what that is, because every time these days, whenever free transfers come up, all players, they want their clubs to get some fees or something, whatever that is. So he wanted Valencia to get a fee. And even before that, while he was still in his youth days, playing for the youth teams, Real Madrid still wanted to sign him, but somehow it never happened. And I think Barcelona are getting a really good player, somebody who can play on the right, somebody who can play on the left, and I think he has the ability to score goals because he's been playing centrally under Pep and Luis Enrique in Spain. So I think Barcelona do address a position of need with him, and especially he has a lot of talent for the future, like a potential for the future,
For sure. Anything that you guys want to
I can actually say this, like, also, like, in addition to what Moa said, like, also Fran Torres is someone who, as Moa tested, so has played with Luis Enrique and all of the youngsters at Barcelona as well. So it means that he's very used to them. So it's, it's easier adaptation for him as well. And, very young and a very good goal scorer, to be honest. So
he's got something about him, like, Ferran Torres, he has that spark. I think that.
Yeah.
And another interesting fact that I forgot to mention, Fran Torres is actually dating Luis Enrique's daughter. So I don't know how much of a role that had to play.
Really? Oh my God.
Probably.
Oh my God. So that's just I don't know. Like, so I think it was set up by Enrique, and
who knows? Man, personally, I hate Luis Enrique a lot because he's one of those guys who went from Madrid to Barcelona. Yeah.
But then, guys, one thing actually that's on my mind is this, like, I'm gonna say about this a lot as time goes on. The point is, we're told that Barca is in a debt of more than €1 billion. How do they afford this?
When they use the bank's money, I think that's what I heard.
The thing is, like, the thing is like Barcelona. The thing is like if you are under debt, you don't stop spending. You know, it's like you have to manage the debt. I think
Okay,
if
in
you
summary, what you guys are saying now is that fair play is just garbage. Then.
no, you
Oh, yeah,
you have
it
to
is.
understand a few things. Okay, football finance is not the same way that we interpret normal everyday spending. The thing is like Barcelona have restructured their debts, and they have the ability to be like they have the revenue to be able to pull off these signings and still be on the positive side of financial fair play.
Plus, I believe they have some credit lines also, if I'm not wrong, already like with some institutions. I was reading it
No,
somewhere.
I think all clubs have credit lines for institutions.
Yeah,
But the thing
yeah,
is
like
but the thing
Barca
is
would
like
have.
Barcelona
Okay.
has enough revenue that they can
Mhm.
that they can account for these spendings that they're making, especially
Yeah.
when you combine it with the amortization and everything. And they managed to renegotiate some deals. So I think they made space in the spending cap limit, and I think they pulled it off.
Mhm.
And I think at the end of the day, you have to give props to Laporta's sporting director and Matteo Alemani.
Man,
He's really done a good job.
yeah.
Well, would you say the same about Aubameyang though, on a free?
Oh,
So you guys literally think he's finished?
Nah, no way. I don't agree with
no,
that.
no.
No.
He's not
To be
finished.
honest, the point is this: like, unless this season, Oba was the best striker in the Premier League, and I say this with Sergio Aguero still playing there and Harry Kane still playing there, because the point is, since Oba came to the Premier League, I think only Salah has scored more goals than him. I might be wrong. Maybe Harry Kane also has scored more goals than him. And the point is that consider the fact that who is supplying Mo Salah, who is Mo Salah playing with, and who is Aubameyang playing with. Like, to be honest, like Aubameyang was playing with Dani Ceballos for God's sake. Like, with all due respect, like you guys know, like literally Arsenal is shit, and this guy was winning the Golden Boot in the Premier League. To be honest, like he was the one carrying them all over and all over. Like he might have attitude issues, like we've seen them a lot of like mercurial talents, and they have attitude issues. But I feel like, to be honest, I feel like it's a very good purchase for Barcelona as well. Again, I just keep wondering like how do they? But then I think because it's a free transfer and like the wages have been subsidized, so I think he's earning way more less than he was earning on Arsenal. But to be honest, I think Barcelona are getting a very, very good player. Very, very good. And actually, he's just replacing Sergio Aguero. That's just it.
For me personally, if I was a Barcelona fan, I would love for everything that Farouk said to be true. But honestly, the thing is like with Aubameyang, you have to take into consideration fitness, because I think that has been an issue recently. Apart from that, his discipline is something I don't know how it gets along with Xavi. And in 2020, apparently Xavi made a comment that Barcelona should never sign Aubameyang, and in 2022 he's signing Aubameyang. So I don't really know what to say about that. But then the other thing is like while he had a good goal scoring record, I think ever since he signed that new contract, he has not really scored much. And overall, at his age, I'm not sure that he's going to have an impact that most people think he would. But then just one more point, okay? The thing is like the thing about Aubameyang that I'm more scared about as a Real Madrid fan is like somehow this guy always scores against Real Madrid. So that's the only thing that worries me. But apart from that, I don't really think Aubameyang is something that Barcelona fans should be trumpeting about. But then the fact that he took a wage cut is a good thing.
He has a 1.5 year contract more, so it's just like it's a simple gamble, He plays for 6 months and he has a plus 1 year, so that's just it. Like it's not like we're like okay relying on this guy for the next 10 years. No, we're relying on this guy for now to get us into the top 4 to get the Champions League deal. I wouldn't be surprised if Barcelona's way to sell Aubameyang in the summer. Because like we've been linked to Erling Haaland and all those things. But they need someone to get the job done now.
Okay, I'm sure we come to Haaland a little bit later, but the thing is like with a lot of these Barcelona signings, we're saying they're a gamble. It's like apart from Fran Torres, every signing is a gamble.
Bro, that is the predicament they are in. Like, what else are they supposed to do?
So I'm not really sure. The thing is like these guys, what is their biggest weakness? The biggest weakness is defense, and they have not strengthened in defense. So that's the thing I would be worried about if I was a Barcelona fan.
Like Aubameyang, I would love to have Farouk's optimism on him, but I've been closely following him for like the past 4 years, and let me tell you something. He's a type of striker who doesn't have the natural instinct to find the goal. I'll tell you that. He finds the goal solely due to his pace, and he used to have that 10-yard head start on people in his heyday. And I think he has lost that extra yard of pace, which makes him so lethal. And I have no idea how he's going to find the net without it. That's my only reservation on Aubameyang. He's a fantastic guy. He's a great person to have in the dressing room. Not exactly a leader, but he can get the job done for Barcelona.
And maybe he can give some company to Usman Dembele, after all their friends.
Exactly. The guy has a gold colored like Lamborghini.
TikTok is in for a gold mine with those two guys.
But the funny thing is, like, all these Barcelona players all these players that Barcelona are signing, somehow they're related to Real Madrid. Aubameyang goes to Barcelona. He's somebody who has literally said that he wanted to play for Real Madrid. And then they have Memphis, who again, wanted to play for Real Madrid. And then they have that other guy, Pjanic. Even he was a Real Madrid fan, and somehow Barcelona managed to sign him. So I don't really know what Barcelona is doing. Maybe they want to be the next Real Madrid. So
I don't know, man. Just imagine a front three of Memphis, Aubameyang, and what's he called, Usman Dembele.
Usman Dembele, yeah. It'll be something to watch.
That's a hip hop 11, man. Now I don't know what you can.
Add Torres there somewhere, just there.
The thing is, like, Memphis has gone from being better than Benzema to not even being in the favorite front three of most Barcelona fans. So I don't really know how Dembele probably is never going to play for Barcelona again.
Yeah.
So,
this is a common theme with Barcelona fans, right? So they'll hype every new signing, compare it with Madrid players, and eventually they'll flop and they'll just forget that it ever happened. They'll just brush it aside. What, Memphis? Who? We don't know.
Yeah,
especially the fact that they were hyping Eric Garcia at the start of the season, and now
oh my God, who in their right mind would hype up Eric Garcia? That guy.
I'll tell you a very funny incident. So there's this guy in my college. He's a big Barca fan, right? And they signed Eric Garcia. All over his Instagram was Eric Garcia. He even posted pictures of Eric Garcia on his feed. His DP was Eric Garcia. His WhatsApp DP was Eric Garcia. His status was Eric Garcia. Love everything. And I was like, whoa, okay, maybe he's a good player. I did not actually know who Eric Garcia was then. And that to this day, I don't know who Eric Garcia is.
I think actually that's the perfect summation of Eric Garcia. Who is Eric Garcia? We don't really know who
Eric Garcia is.
To be honest, when so I think some people are just lucky to actually know the right people and have the right connections. To be honest, and I think really Eric Garcia is one of those guys, because even when I watched him in the Premier League, with Man City, I did not understand what the force was about. Why was Barcelona pushing to be like this? To be honest, there was nothing there. And then he came to he went to Spain in the summer, and then he came to Barca, and he was still all garbage. To be honest. Anyways, I'm going to ask you guys something else. Oh, sorry, go on. Right?
No. There's only one explanation, man. He has Laporta's dudes. That's the only explanation we can find.
Yeah, actually, guys, I was wondering, what do you guys think about the Dembele situation? Because we had Laporta saying they had an English team, which they also were surprised that offered what they offered for Dembele, and Dembele didn't accept that. What's you guys' takes on this? Because his contract expires in 6 months. You've been not gonna play anymore. So what's
if Dembele was doing this for Real Madrid, I would absolutely hate him. But right now he's doing it to Barcelona, so I absolutely love him.
I have the same sentiment. I'll tell you why he's doing it. He's doing it because he can sit on his ass and play Fortnite until May, June, July, and wait for a club to come sign him for free and eat up a massive signing on bonus. I think that's the very mood.
Is when you consider the fact that Dembele is 25 and there's a World Cup in December or is it in November? I don't know. For example, we can look at people like Aaron Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey literally, I think, took a 30%, a 70% wage cut to go to Rangers. I think, I'm not sure how much it is. Just so he can be fit to be able to play in the qualifiers. And then you have Dembele, and there's a World Cup coming around, and you're not even in the squad. You need to fight to get in the squad, and he's like, no, I'm just gonna sit down.
He has no passion for the game left, I feel like. Or at least for Barcelona.
Okay, for me, I would just offer a different perspective. The thing is, I think, first of all, Dembele does have an offer from PSG, so probably he goes to PSG in the summer. And the thing is, he is going to play. France is an obvious hole at right wing spot. They don't have a natural right winger with Dembele fills. So if he gets a good run out with PSG, he's probably going to make the team. And then the other aspect of it is do you really think Barcelona are going to sit him? Because honestly, when he plays, he's Barcelona's best player, even though he doesn't have the same finishing product, end product. Maybe that
Yeah.
some of the other players have. But the thing is, like, he creates a lot of goal scoring opportunity, and he's very dangerous in the final third. So if Barcelona decide to sit Dembele out while paying him, it's something that Barcelona are being stupid about. It's not on Dembele.
You've seen this, like Aubameyang sat out Arsenal, I think, for 2 months, right? So if I'm not mistaken, and he was earning 50k a month. He was earning 50k a month. Aubameyang sat for 2 months at Arsenal without playing, and he was earning 350k a month. So the point is, what I'm saying is that you're right. Actually, I also thought about that. I thought most likely it's just a bluff from Barca's side, because like you can just have someone like Dembele and when you literally like us Ansu Fati's injured and all that. But I just feel like based on what we know, this is what has been said, and you have this situation on hand. I agree. Go, like, you have a deal with Paris. I can relate to that. But at least go to someone where you're going to play, even if it's just once in 2 games, you know, to keep the match fitness at least, worst case scenario. Because like you have an injury record. Because my thinking is this: if Dembele doesn't actually play till the summer and then he goes to wherever he goes to, I can get that with someone with that muscle injury history without having been playing. Once he gets a training, just 2-3 training, he's going to get injured again. That's just it.
You see, the thing is, like, Dembele is going to be training with Barcelona, right? It's not as if he's not going to be training with Barcelona. The thing is, like, right now, the rumor going around is Barcelona is somehow going to buy him out. So the thing is, like, if they do buy him out, he can sign for whoever he wants. But the thing is, like, Barcelona, if they keep him, they have to play him. That's what I think.
Anyways,
and if he had gone to the English club, what happens to his deal with PSG? You know, you have to take that into
You're just going to go there for 6 months, just like this short deal. If you have a deal, if it's true, because even that's what like Laporta like attested to. Like he said, like his agents had made him understand, like they insinuated that they have a deal with someone. This is what they have insinuated to Juan Laporta.
For a 6-month loan. I'm not sure which team is taking him on a 6-month loan.
No. Like what he's saying, like why Dembele doesn't want to sign a new contract is because like they insinuated to them that they have a deal in place already once the contract expires at Barcelona.
Yeah, so I think that most probably is PSG. So you know, he wouldn't want to jeopardize that thing.
Yeah. Anyways,
you're spending too much time on a player who is finished, absolutely finished, in my opinion. Like he has potential, but in my opinion,
man, I didn't realize you were talking about Aubameyang.
You're gonna eat your Dembele is no way.
Aubameyang, at least in his career, he single-handedly won Arsenal an FA Cup. You know, that's not small. As shit as Arsenal are, you know, he single-handedly won them a cup. What has Dembele done in his career?
When you guys won an FA Cup, what's that? Is that even a trophy?
It is a trophy.
What kind of
course a trophy?
Oh,
That's why Ned is a Madrid supporter. Because you know you need to get that validation from somewhere, or at least one team is winning trophies if the other isn't.
You guys shouldn't bully me like that. Anyway, moving on. Anthony Martial to Sevilla. Do you guys think it'll be a huge threat for us?
Me personally, no. Well, Anthony Martial is not consistent enough. All he gives them is backup, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll start also. I mean, maybe he'll start a couple of games. He won't be a regular starter. He'll eventually drop down his standards. That's just what I've seen him a lot actually. I used to watch a lot of United games when he started in Louis van Gaal's team, and actually liked him in the beginning, but you can see that his transition is it's not a good story to tell, and I think something similar might happen with Sevilla.
Actually, to be honest, like I'm gonna go again a bit long, but what actually I think is this, like, to be honest, like after we went with the Ronaldo Messi era, like which includes the likes of Sergio Aguero, Lewandowski, Luis Suarez, and all those guys, immediately after them came the likes of, you know, the Rashfords and the Marshalls and I don't know, the Sterlings and so on and so forth. But I feel like these guys are like, we lack that consistency with them. Always when there's an obstacle or like when they face some difficulty, they just run away. Like we've seen it with Rashford, like he's good and he's blowing hot and cold. We've seen it with Sterling. We've seen it with, even with the Spanish players, you know, let's go with the likes of Marco Asensio, Rodrigo, you know, from Valencia and so on and so forth. Like the name keeps, you know, it keeps going on and on, like Alvaro Morata, just to name someone else as well. You know, even you go with the German strikers, even with the Italian strikers, you know, Ciro Immobile as well. You know, we've seen with these guys, Andrea Belotti and all those guys. Like, I don't know how to put it, but I just feel like, you know, they play good for like, I don't know, 10, 15 games or like one season. Like they score 20 goals and like, okay, you're thinking, okay, this is the time to take the next step. And all of a sudden, like, they are nowhere to be found. I think it's the same thing with, you know, Anthony Martial. Like, he's a really good player, to be honest. He's a world beater on his day.
There's a player there for sure. But
the question is, when he's his day, how long will you wait for him? Like, at what cost? That's he's like someone who promises so much but delivers so little, unfortunately.
Yeah, there was a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract. That seems to be.
That was how much you had, to be honest. And I don't know if you guys could recall, like he came on like against Liverpool for his debut, and like he scored very similar to Tony. You scored like
quite the goal,
carbon copy of Henry's goal, and like everyone was like, this is the second coming of Thierry Henry, and all of a sudden,
like to be fair, his first season wasn't so bad. He actually did score like 11 goals, and he had a few assists as well. So his debut was pretty good. But
I'll tell you something that you guys might already know, but he might have scored a combined more goals than Chelsea's past three major strikers, including Lukaku. That's the severity of his performance. Like inconsistent.
And guys, there we have it. The Arsenal fan in our midst.
Nah. Let's drop that. But another prominent signing for Sevilla was Oscar Rodriguez. Departure for Sevilla. Oscar Rodriguez, a guy on the fringes, left for Getafe. And am I missing someone for Sevilla?
Yeah, Tegatito, Jesus Corona.
The big one.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen him?
I think Jesus Corona offers like more than Martial, because I think he provides them with ability on the wings, and he adds to the attack. And I think he is somebody you can expect something from. And Lopetegui has worked before with him, so I think there was that connection between them. So and plus he's a permanent signing, So Sevilla wouldn't hesitate on wasting.
He's not cheap.
Sorry.
At 3 million, he's not cheap,
Yeah. I think the thing is, like, he had a falling out with Porto. He wanted to leave. Okay. When I say falling out, I don't mean a fight, but I think he wanted to leave. So that was the thing.
Right. What happened to Farouk's?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Like, is he disconnected or something?
No, it's still recording.
Yeah.
He's back. Is everything okay, Farouk?
Yeah.
Fair.
So personally, I think Jesus Corona is a good signing for Sevilla. I think he could have an impact.
Yeah, he's a seasoned veteran.
Definitely. The experience component is something that we cannot overlook, especially in a title race. Exactly. And I think this guy has the experience of fighting for titles in Portugal. So
three titles. Three titles. That's not bad in 7 years. It's pretty good.
Atleti signed Renildo Mandava, if I'm not mistaken. Is that how you say it?
Probably. I'm not sure much about him apart from the fact that he's a left back and he played for Lille.
Yeah,
I don't really know much about him, but the true signings about Atleti that I would want to stress about are like Daniel Vaz. I think they got a good utility player, somebody who can play in the midfield and the right wing back position. And the fact that they lost Trippier, I think Trippier is a big loss for them because they don't really have a good enough right wing back to replace him. So probably that is the reason why they signed Daniel Vaz, but I don't think Vaz is at the same level as Trippier.
Actually, to that point, to be honest, when I saw like the deal for Vaz, and I was like, the thing that came to mind is like, I don't think there's a more let's not say I don't think, but like Vaz is so much of a like Simeone player that I can't even like I don't know how to put it. Like it's just like how Carrasco is like the perfect Simeone player. I think like Vaz is one of those players as well. Like he's the person like who is like, as Mojo says now, he's not like the best right fullback or like the best right winger, or he's not even the best of anything, but he's so much.
He can slot anywhere. Yeah.
He fights so much that he becomes better than average. To be honest, I think like that's something Simeone can work with actually.
Then he actually broke into the team. I had such high hopes for Daniel Vaz. I thought he would blossom into someone much, much greater than where he is right now. But I think probably Atleti will provide a good, resurgence in his career at this point.
I think Daniel Vaz has had a decent career till now. But the thing is, like, when we slot him in Atleti, we have to think about what it changes for the other players. The fact is, if you bring in Vaz and you play him right wing back, it frees up Marcos Llorente to go back into the midfield. And Llorente is at his best in the midfield, and for whatever reason, like injuries and whatnot, he's being forced to play out wide on the wing. So I think once Atleti get Marcos Llorente back into the midfield, I think that their chances improve. Because the fact is, like, people often credit Luis Suarez last season for the form Atleti had, but I think Marcos Llorente was an equally big component of that.
Phenomenal. Another significant transfer in Spain for us, at least. This guy I was so keen on. I had pinned my expectations on him from way back when. Borja Mayoral is back in La Liga at Getafe.
Personally, I think Borja Mayoral is a better backup for Real Madrid than Luka Jovic. Maybe the Jovic fans will hate me for saying that. But overall, I like Borja Mayoral. So I was actually disappointed with the fact that he went to Getafe, because I was thinking maybe if Real Madrid could let Jovic leave in the winter, we could actually have brought him back as a backup to Benzema. But it goes as it goes, and I think Getafe got a good striker.
I think Mayoral's insistence for much more playing time, like I think it must have cost some sort of relations with the club. I think that's the reason why he was never brought back in after that.
I think the thing is, like, for the way I see it is, like, Borja Mayoral probably wants a starting spot, right? If the club could have moved on Jovic and brought him back for 6 months, and they could have sold him, because I think the initial plan before he went to Roma was to sell him, and because we could not find a buyer, that's why we extended his contract and sent him out on loan. So probably we could have given him 6 months with the club, and then because the way we have seen Luka Jovic play, it's like it's disappointing, man. It's disheartening. That's the most I would say.
Let's
Everyone needs to get his shit together, man. Like it's been how long, for how many loans, and nothing has been turned into something permanent. Or I don't know. He needs to get his shit together, and
There's for sure. Like he has a natural knack for finding the net. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Borja Mayoral, like he has a knack for finishing. But
he already scored one, I think, in La Liga.
Yeah. I think his first game back.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who it was against, though. I'm
sorry. Moving on. I think that's pretty much it. The major stuff from La Liga.
I think another one that you pointed out was Ilaix Moriba coming back to
Valencia. From Valencia.
Yeah. I think that's a good signing for Valencia, because they needed some bodies in midfield. These days they have been playing with 6 or 7 defenders in their lineup. So I think Ilaix Moriba is a good signing. And apart from that, I think Giovanni Lo Celso is back to La Liga with Villarreal.
Oh, Lo Celso. Lo Celso finished. Like I saw his name pop up in this page, but like I don't think he's a good player. Like I had such hopes for him back in the day, like a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. I think he was.
If I'm not mistaken, was at Betis, right? Lo Celso was like I really, because even he was linked with Real at that point in time before he went to Spurs. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Like who was in link with Real?
I think personally, I think it didn't work out with him at Spurs because of the constant shuffling of managers. And maybe he didn't just settle, but I still rate Lo Celso, and let's see how he does with Villarreal.
Fair. We are doing overtime with the transfers already. Some of the major transfers, we could just brush up on it. If you guys, Vlahovic from Fiorentina to Juve was the signing of the window. How highly do you guys rate him?
Personally, like, I'm not going to comment on the rating of Vlahovic part, but I think Juve had a really good transfer window. They brought in Zakaria, and then they brought Vlahovic, so I think they addressed a big position of need when they strengthened their attack. So let's see how Allegri uses them. Overall, I think Juve were the biggest winners of the transfer window.
Yeah, actually, I think other than even getting like the Zakaria and the Vlahovic, I think the fact that they were able to get rid of both, or rather, let's say all 3 of Kulusevski, Bentancur, and Ramsey, I think it was something huge. Really, that was a big thing.
Like personally, I still rate Kulusevski because I think he's a good player. But
I'm
maybe
surprised they let him go, because there's a player in him.
Yeah, but I think it was not working out for him at Juve. I think that's.
And the point now becomes this: like Kulusevski had just 1 good season at Parma. It's not like someone who's had, like, for example, with Aaron Ramsey, like, you can know that he has credit in the bank because we've seen that this guy can do it for 5, 6, 7, 8 years at Arsenal. But like for Kulusevski, he's so young and he's played just 1 full season at Parma where he was quite very good, to be honest. And he came to Juve, and then it's just been all bench, 1 good performance, and then he can back it up. And
I'll tell you something from my experience in watching Serie A. Juve are in the mud, bro. Like Like I don't think there's a way back for them into the top 4 this season, at
I think
least.
they're fifth, right?
Yeah, fifth right.
I don't
yeah.
think the
Fifth.
fixture
I
they
think
have.
I think they're 1 or 2 points behind, if I'm not mistaken. They're not that much far away.
I understand, but you have to watch.
They're
them play.
fighting for top 4, but they're fifth, right? Or the
Very
fifth right
tired to
now.
watch. Absolutely clueless, especially.
But I think the fact that they brought in Vlahovic is going to help them.
I
And
really,
probably playing Zakaria alongside Locatelli.
yeah, exactly.
I
I
think that
think
also
with
works.
Korea and Locatelli, you know, and in the attack also, if they can get Dybala to function, you know, as a number 10, I think he can provide them a lot of options, I think.
Yeah, I think Dybala is going to be working well with Vlahovic, you know, especially because Vlahovic is an out-and-out striker. And I've seen suggestions that Allegri has tried out Morata as a winger. I don't know how that works, but even there have been suggestions that Morata and Vlahovic could play together. So, you know, Morata's biggest weakness is his finishing, but he is good on the ball.
Exactly, like his hold-up play and all that is good. I think
His link-up play is really good.
I think. But to be honest, I was quite surprised with Juventus, as Mo said as well. Like it was a very, very good window because you know we just know these guys are, I don't know, man. Like they just do whatever they want to do, but then you know being able to get Vlahovic from Fiorentina, it's I don't know at the rate of 75, it was really good to be honest.
But let me tell you something. There have been so many strikers like in this age-old game that has shown immense talent for 2-3 seasons, but just vanish right after. You never know.
I mean, we have one of them. So
Exactly. You never know when someone loses his scoring touch. Once it's gone, it's gone. Simple as like.
Yeah, and besides Jovic, I think the guy that Farouk was talking about, Piontek, you know, he had such a big breakout season at Genoa, was it?
Yeah.
And then
Then he was in Milan, right?
Yeah, and then he just vanished off the face of the earth.
Yeah, and now he's going to replace Vlahovic.
Fiorentina signed him?
Yeah.
Oh
Wow,
God.
okay.
Good luck.
I think they also signed Cabral, right? Arthur Cabral.
Yeah, they signed Cabral as well.
Yeah. Okay. With Piontek, I don't think he was really good at Hertha Berlin, right? It's pretty bad.
No. He was shit. One final major signing before we move into the Real Madrid matter. Luis Diaz from Porto, Liverpool. 50 million.
Honestly, I haven't seen enough of Luis Diaz to make a comment on him, but most people say that he's a really good player. So let's see.
You know, one thing I feel is that, I don't know, but I feel like, you know, when Liverpool bought like both Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah and Diogo Jota as well, like there was an element of like, what if with them? Will they adapt? Will they not? Well, like, okay, I haven't seen a lot of Diaz because I don't watch Portuguese league. So what happens is that I feel like the way people actually say that this guy is the perfect Liverpool player, the way they like, you know, I don't know. I shouldn't say hype because that's some hype actually. The way like they just say that he fits Klopp so well, I feel that's why he's not going to work. Because like already there's like so much huge expectation, like, okay, this is the guy who is going to take them to the next level. And like, you know, I don't know how, well, like I think the reverse is going to happen. So I just...
This is one of Faroukisms, you know, you come a wing guy.
He has his hot takes served cold. The thing is, Farouk, in my opinion, the hype around Luis Diaz, around his move to Liverpool comes down to his tenacity and how aggressive he is on and off the ball. I think that's the reason why people rate him so highly. The jury is still out. Like you never know if it's going to work or not. But on paper, it looks like a really promising signing. Someone who is in his prime, has plenty of experience of top flight football in his belt. I think he's going to prosper. You know, like the goal against Man City, that was something. If you guys remember.
Actually, I saw a lot of goals he scored at the Copa America in the summer. Apparently, he was a joint goal scorer. Like he scored a lot of golazos, man, in the summer. He was he's got a lot of good goals in the summer as well.
Liverpool rarely makes a move in the window, but when they do, I think they pull some brilliant cheap deals off.
And you know, the added benefit for them was the fact that Everton were linked with Luis Diaz pretty strongly, you know, and
Spurs were as well.
Yeah, even Spurs to snap Diaz after these two clubs. It's like, I think it's sweet for the fans.
Actually, you know, the thing was this, like, which was it's not just that way, like, you know, they snatched someone. It's like the fact that Liverpool had been scouting Diaz for more than a year. They know Diaz's agent. They've spoken to Porto about this player, you know, and they've been told to be kept in the loop. So the point is that, you know, although it seems that way, like they snatch someone, it's like I've already been laying a ground plan for this guy. So when the time comes, when someone wants to just, you know, come and take my eggs, the eggs that I've been, you know, waiting to hatch. So it's, you know, I don't know. Anyways,
you know, we don't need any of Farouk's logical thoughts. What we need is to enjoy the same feeling when Real Madrid snatch of Haaland right under Barcelona's noses, because, you know, Barcelona fans have this impression that Haaland is going to sign for them. So
you guys were all pessimistic over here a couple of months ago when I told you guys.
No, I was pessimistic of the fit because I still have my doubts.
I still don't accept that, man. I still don't believe we're gonna sign.
We should ask Ritwik, who wasn't here, bro. What do you think of Haaland's eventual move?
I think he should come to Madrid.
Yeah, see, but
like, do you think we should actually make a spot available for him, like hook or crook? If Benzema is moved out, or, you know, if he's on the bench, what do you think?
Okay, so like, it's a very debatable topic, I guess, where people are on the fence about this one. I think like we should get him regardless of if like what we do with him. I think that's up to Carlo, and I think he
comes after. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but giving up on someone like Haaland just because we can't fit him in our squad right now would not be a very smart decision, according to me.
Yeah.
Okay, just before we move on, I think I would like to give up some updates about the whole Haaland saga. The thing is, like, there are three key things that we need to keep in mind. I think first of all, Dortmund's Watzke, he said that Real Madrid are the club with the strongest interest in him. But the second thing is, like, yesterday there was some news from Spain that Real Madrid are focusing right now on Mbappe and not Haaland. So there are some doubts about how strong the Real Madrid interest is in Haaland. But then today a big news came out. Today a big news came out, right? Sam Lee, who's tier 1 for Manchester City, okay, they say it's tier 0 or whatever. He came out and said that Manchester City know that Haaland wants Real Madrid. So I think the interest is there from both sides. Let's just see if we are able to get the deal done.
Let's just see if we all as a dick or not.
It's about like the lack of interest or not. The point is that for sure Haaland wants to come to Madrid and Madrid wants Haaland. So like one of the options, not like only Madrid he wants to come to, but like Madrid's one of the options for him. But what I just feel is that the feasibility of the deal. The point is that I'm thinking, as I said in the early episodes, like it's not about the fact that we are rejecting Haaland. I think it's more about Haaland considering the prospects of going to fight with Benzema and Mbappe and all these guys for a spot in the starting 11. So I feel like, again, still I am not still confident about this. Not until, we get to, here we go and shit like that. I wouldn't just, agree with the Haaland thing.
You know, in my mind, I'm trying to paint a mental picture of Haaland fighting with Benzema and Mbappe, like literally.
It'll be quite the fight. I'll support Haaland in that one.
Where you cannot underrate Benzema, okay? He's
I cannot. I mean, he's big dick, right? We don't know.
We have much more immediate matters to get into. Before we do that, we couldn't cover our reactions on what happened in both the Elche games. The first one being in the Copa del Rey, and you guys remember what happened, how Marcelo got red carded and whatnot. They scored. It was a mess. I still remember. Like,
now you left out the biggest point. Cruz got carded for a player who tackled himself or whatever.
That was. I mean, how do you even? That's just bullshit.
You see Cruz lash out, right? Like, he's so calm, he's so cool. Like when he flips out, you know, shit has hit the fan. But what did you guys think of the comeback? And Dani Ceballos played a vital part in both the goals. I never thought I could say something like that from my experience with Ceballos.
You know, that makes you think the fault lies in Arsenal and not in Dani Ceballos. I'm just making a point.
You're making a very invalid point because I have no affiliation towards Ceballos because he played for Arsenal, in my honest opinion, because I never rated him highly. He was just another midfielder, to be honest. But he had a very
just another misutilized midfielder is what I would say, honestly.
Misutilized? So you think he's great?
No, I think he's better than what he was at Arsenal.
Of course, he would be because he's in a system that suits him much more.
See, that's the point I'm making. He was misutilized in Arsenal.
Okay, misutilized. But I never think there's a player of top quality in him anymore. And
I think he has a role to play at Real Madrid this season.
Role to play, a sub role to play. If that's what you.
I mean, the starters for Real Madrid are Cruz, Casemiro, and Modric. Pretty much everybody is going to be a sub.
Do you honestly think Ceballos starts for Real Madrid?
Sorry.
In what period? In what timeline does Ceballos? That is Ceballos start.
If Cruz is injured, Ceballos is the one I want replacing him.
I understand, but he's not going to be a permanent starter for us in any timeline. Never.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if Arsenal had played him in the role that suits him, I think he could have been a good
double pivot where he has played, in my opinion, in his Betis days, if I remember.
No, in his Betis he played for the forward. And the thing is, like, irrespective of position of the field, the role he plays was the fact that he has to be the distributor. At Arsenal, you're playing a lot of defensive duties on him, and I don't think Ceballos has it in him to be a defensive player.
Of course, but in my opinion, I think, man, this guy has been injured for 2 years, and even when he was at his prime, like when he was in his heyday, and when he moved to Real Madrid, I saw nothing that made me think that he's going to start week in, week out for us. Like, my opinion. But anyway, Ceballos played a brilliant part in both the goals. And Hazard, man, do you guys think he redeems himself? Like,
no. I mean, it was a good goal from him, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a Hazard we're talking about.
I think I agree with Ritwik. It's like I have a lot of sympathy for Hazard because of the reasons why he cannot play his best at Real Madrid, all the injuries and stuff. But I don't really think there's a future for Hazard at Real Madrid.
But you think there's a future for Ceballos at Real Madrid?
I think he has a role to play this season.
Oh my God! Fair. This guy.
I mean, I never said Ceballos is a starter for Real Madrid. What I said was he's a better player.
He has a future. He has a future. In what timeline does he have a future at Real Madrid?
I said the point that I'm making is that he has a role to play at Real Madrid this season. Okay, and I'm saying that he's a better player than what was on evidence at Arsenal.
For 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you win. But Isco scored the goal that was held on by Ceballos, and Hazard saved our asses in extra time. Yeah. But the league fixture was mad. We were 2-0 down and came back to tie. How pivotal do you guys think that draw was in the scheme of the La Liga title race?
I think very important. Had we slipped, we would have just given Sevilla open chance to, I think that would also have given them a lot of confidence to actually go forward with the consistency, because like Sevilla is a team which usually falters in the latter half of the season, right? And that part is coming now. But I think this game was very important and crucial in the sense that if we had actually lost the game, would have given us Sevilla a real chance for title race. And, who knows what would have happened, but
actually,
I'm glad
to be honest, I feel like a bit opposite of what Ritwik said. Actually, I feel like the game actually gives Sevilla a bit of hope in the sense that like they can see that because if I'm not mistaken, like Sevilla I think drew 2 games before we drew our game. I'm not sure. Like they had they had a couple of games in hand or a game in hand. I'm not sure what it was, but like they could not win that game, right? If I'm not mistaken. And like if they had won the game, like they would have been, I think, 3 points behind us or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then like even after that, all these things, and they're still just 4 points behind. So they feel like, okay, if we'd actually done our job, we would have been closer than we are right now. So it means that these guys are not invincible. These guys are not infallible. So it means, okay, let's just get our shit done, and we can let them just keep, making their mistakes. To be honest, I felt like even although we snatched the point, which was like similar to a victory, I don't know.
Quick thoughts on Benzema's penalty miss, to which later came out and apologized.
It was due, man. It was overdue, to be honest. Like he went
for the right. He went for the right, which he never does.
And he was overdue to miss one. That's just it, man. He was like due to miss one.
Yeah.
So it's over.
Yeah, I think Benzema had like 17 penalties scored for Real Madrid without missing.
Exactly.
So it was overdue. But and then when you pointed out the fact that he went right when he usually goes left, and then Carlo comes out and says the next day that I asked him to go right, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm not going to put too much pressure on Benzema because
I think there's no Madrid so is gonna like these Benzema for the miss, man. Like the guy's done his due, man. He has a lot of credit in the back, man. That's just it.
Yeah, too much, way too much credit. But again, man, Vinicius bailing us out, like that moment of brilliance towards the end, saved.
and Militao scored a header. He's probably watching.
To be honest, actually, when I saw this, I knew Mo was gonna say this for sure. Militao scored a header. He's watching our episodes.
We were literally crying out for for him to improve his finishing. Finally.
To be honest, like okay, Militao's header was good, but like Vini was like too. I always say this always like every time I watch the game, like most of the weeks, like he just does something that just further reinforces my belief that this guy is here now. He's the real deal. To be honest, I think it was a 90+4 or 90. I don't know whatever it was, but like
90+2, yeah.
It was that key moments, like it was when the chips are down, when you can reach your game, like that's what matters the most, man. That's what matters.
And I think we also have to give props to the Elche guy, Lucas Boye, because I think he really had a good game and he was crucial in them actually racing up to a 2-0 lead, because his goal was good. His hold-up play for the second goal was immaculate. So I think Lucas Boye is one to watch out for.
And again, their goals proved our aerial prowess while defending is below average.
I think we've been making this point for a while now, right?
Yeah.
So
it's so alarming that like I don't know, like I'm not confident in how we are going to negate that in 2 weeks against PSG, where they'll have so much threat.
I think PSG are not really good aerially, right? It's like
they're not good aerially, but they have good crosses of the ball who can put it on a plate for players, in my opinion. Hakimi can put in a good cross or two.
Maybe Hakimi puts in a cross for Benzema, right? Like the last time he played against us.
You could say that. I don't know, man. But like I would be really wary of our chances if we can't step up aerially while defending. And that constantly seems to plague us throughout all the competitions we have been in. That's a major part of how we concede goals, and we need to stop leaking those kind of goals, in my opinion.
Any news on Mendy, by the way? Does anyone have anything on Mendy?
Yeah, I think the fact, like, I think we were going to discuss this.
PSG too. That's what I heard.
He'll be back for PSG?
No, he won't.
Like, I'm personally not sure what his situation is right now, but I know he had a muscular injury, so at least he's out for 2 weeks, I think.
One question: if Mendy is not back, would you rather play Alaba as a left back, or would you play Nacho?
I'll go with Nacho.
Nacho, same.
Because I think Alaba and Militao have a good thing going on. I wouldn't want to disturb that.
But to be honest, I just feel like we Neymar not playing. I think like maybe they're gonna play with Di Maria and all these guys, and like I just feel like we should just pin them down on that side, and like Nacho is not that much attack, or not that much of a threat attack wise.
Yeah.
And, playing with with Alaba and Vinicius on that wing might be much more effective in attacking.
I think the thing is, like, if we play Nacho, we have that adaptability because Alaba and Nacho can switch. So it isn't, Alaba will have the freedom to go forward if the need is there. And knowing how Carlo Ancelotti plays, I would be surprised if he had a lot of possession in that game. So.
Also, like, what do you think the right back situation would be against PSG? Will Vasquez be able to handle the?
I think Danny's back. So.
Oh, okay. Danny's back. Okay, I did not know that. Then I think that's probably decent. Yeah. I was just looking over some stats of our center backs in Air Duel 1, and it's just depressing. Militao is in the 60th percentile, and Alaba is in the 1%.
The 1%?
Yeah,
a 1 percentile. That's just
you know what, you're just giving Sune the heart attack. So
because like I've been banging on this drum for I don't know how long, but we have another pressing issue at our hand. Um, I don't think Benzema will be making Thursday's Copa del Rey quarterfinal against Bilbao.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
that-
for
that-
me, the update that I have is like he's been training back on the pitch, but
But
he's
he's
training
been training
alone.
individually, last I heard.
Yeah, he's training on the pitch, but he's training individually. So he
Mhm.
hasn't joined group training. So I would
don't
be
think he's gonna
surprised.
make it, bro.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he played against Athletic. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be another Jovic masterclass.
He'll score. I can feel it.
I wish I had your optimism.
Like I don't know, man. We have such erratic form in Copa del Rey. It's almost like we take it for granted, and it is the perfect setup for a mishap at San Mames on Thursday.
We take Copa del Rey for granted, and we have been taking it for granted for a good amount of time now.
Yeah.
We're never serious about Copa del Rey. I mean, it's almost like we want Barca to win it every year, but
But this year Barcelona can't win it, right?
of course they can't. So maybe we have a motivation now to,
But maybe
They had
somehow
one
they
goal.
will still they'll still win Copa del Rey.
somehow.
don't know.
somehow.
They had
And then
one job, bro.
they'll win Copa del Rey, and then Messi will win another Ballon d'Or. Because like
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the point I was making. Even without playing Copa del Rey, Messi will somehow win Player of the Tournament. And, how the story goes.
Oh my God.
So easy. It's been so easy for Barca, but unfortunately not this year. But yeah, Vinicius and Casemiro will be back tomorrow evening. That's what I heard.
I think they're rushing them back on private jets.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I would be really worried if Vinicius plays, because Vinicius, I think he's playing tonight.
Yeah.
He's going to be starting, despite what was reported as Tite and Carlo having a deal or whatever that was. But still, I
He
think.
said we just spoke, and I used my common sense, Tite.
Yeah, so Vinicius is playing. Thankfully, Militao is back because he was suspended. So that's a positive for us. But like Casemiro and I would rather have a start Rodrigo, because I think Rodrigo is not starting for Brazil. So if you could start Rodrigo on the left and Asensio on the right, I think that would be much better than rushing Vinicius.
No reward for Hazard, man. You should reward Hazard, man, for a good performance, at least for the goal.
Sorry?
You should reward Hazard at least for the goal, man, and give him a.
No, it's okay, man. We don't need him.
Let him come
off
off
the
the
bench.
bench and maybe
Yeah,
like
that's the thing I would go for. Off the bench.
even Gareth Bale, like he's back, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know what Bale's situation is. He's been
Like,
back
I
for a
don't-
while.
He isn't playing. He's been squad for a couple of games now, and he did not play.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really know what's happening. I think the fact is, I was reading some reports, from Spanish journalists, and they were like, the club doesn't have any faith in Bale, and the only guy who's keeping him around is Ancelotti.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he's making the squad list.
That's a foregone conclusion, unfortunately, with Gareth Bale. Go on.
I think something that we need to discuss about is the left back situation, because with both Mendy and Marcelo out, and I think Miguel also has COVID. So at least that has what has been reported. So
I thought we touched upon the situation with Nacho.
So I think the point I'm making is, like, I think Nacho is the only guy who we have available on left back. So if we lose another player, it's really going to be dangerous for us.
We are so thin, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wing backs, like
Right now, because Marcelo is suspended, and I don't really know who's starting. A question that I would like to ask you guys is, like, if Marcelo is available for the league games, who would you want to start, Nacho or Marcelo? And who do you think will start? Like, who do you think Ancelotti starts?
Nacho, probably. I don't think they'll start Marcelo.
me neither.
For me personally, I don't know. I don't really trust Ancelotti. I think he's going to start Marcelo somehow against Granada.
Really? Like, I would love Marcelo to start just for the nostalgia factor, but I don't think he'll do well. He'll be rinsed. But yeah, man, it's kind of mad how low we are on depth. But do you guys think Bilbao is going to be a serious threat?
Yes.
At home?
Yes. I personally think, because we have already played them thrice.
Exactly.
And the fact is that this time we are in a weakened state without Benzema. Probably if Vinicius starts, he's going to be tired. There's no Mendy. And I don't know if Casemiro plays or not. I think probably Camavinga. We have to protect him from Farouk. But the thing is, like, overall, it's like, I think Bilbao has a good chance this game.
So, but regardless, I think we should give it our best, right? Like to go through.
For me personally, I think league is more important. So, if it was, I would sacrifice Copa.
Of course, like anybody would, any Madridista would. But in my opinion, like if we can win it, it'll be great. Like it's still a trophy,
I think the problem, the issue for me is like the fact that we shouldn't be risking Vinicius because
No, absolutely not.
and then we should not be risking Casemiro, and then we should not be bringing back Benzema too soon.
Basically, let Ancelotti and his son play around, right? That's what.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just play around and see what happens. If we win, we win.
If we win. That's just it. Actually, guys, I was gonna ask you guys about something. Like I don't know how true it is. I read like we're in for like Orion. Is it Tchouaméni?
Chouameni.
Yeah.
Like I heard like the guy Califat went down to Monaco or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
Chouameni is one of the players that I would love to have at Madrid. Like honestly, personally,
yeah,
I love that guy.
You want to have Camavinga, you want to have Chouameni, and you just keep playing with some shitty players, man. I don't know. Okay, not shitty.
Who is shitty players, man?
Like players so young that I don't know, man. Like
okay, if I was Sunet, I would probably be saying Ceballos is a shitty player, but I am not Sunet, So I still
never said Ceballos is a shitty player. See, at Real Madrid, bro, there are some.
No, I'm just joking. Not serious.
Like okay, just to take back my word, like okay, not shitty. Like okay, I cannot say Chouameni is a shitty player. To be honest, like I think
Chouameni is a really good player, bro.
But like
really
the point is just like I just feel like why do they keep going for very young and unproven players? To be honest, like these guys are coming from the French league. To be honest, like I don't know. Like,
first thing is like Chouameni is not very young. He's 22 already.
Yeah.
Second thing is like this guy is playing for the French national team and starting.
Yeah. And he plays for AS Monaco.
And
he doesn't play for Brest or Bordeaux, He plays for an okay team as well. And he has got at least 3 years of top flight experience, like as far as I know.
If you go and watch Chouameni play, you will see the difference between him and Camavinga.
No, of course, like Camavinga is not a DM, man. Chouameni is a DM, not Camavinga is not a DM. So
and his
you're talking about maturity, I guess.
Yeah. His maturity, his game is much more refined.
Pretty much.
I've seen Chouameni at the Euros, man. I watched him a lot, and I do like him, to be honest. But my point is this: like, I feel like we should actually look for people who are there and now to give us the team now. Because the point is like once because what's happened with us like over the past couple of years and where we actually suffered with Cristiano is, in my opinion, is that
give me one player that you think we should sign in midfield. One established. Realistic option. Who?
Bernardo Silva.
I mean, Bernardo Silva is an attacking midfielder. He's not a defensive midfielder, right?
Yeah,
Chouameni is a defensive
midfielder. For these guys a lot, man. He played CM. Okay, yeah, that's one CM. Yeah.
But I think right now the fact is we are not looking to replace. We're not trying to get an attacking midfielder, right? The focus is on the fact that we need somebody to rotate with Casemiro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really lack options there.
I think my point here is that for me, rather than going for this like the French guy Orion, I would prefer like I don't know, developing Antonio Blanco more. I don't know. This is another option.
Like what I do like Blanco, I think there's a difference in their levels between Chouameni and Blanco.
Well, the point is like the Chouameni. What happens with Chouameni now when he comes to Real Madrid? That's the point.
I think
it's Casemiro because like Casemiro is like 29, 30, like. Is he gonna play for like 3-4 years, hopefully?
I personally think the thing is like Chouameni could actually give Casemiro a run because Chouameni is good defensively, and the fact is that he is good on the ball even when he's making short passes and under pressure.
You gotta watch him. Like he
I've seen him. Okay, man. Wait, let's just see, man. But to be honest, I'm not the kind of person that who is open to giving young and because for me the point is that he's still young and unproven. That's just what I feel.
The other established players are unattainable. The likes of De Bruyne. He's going to
one of them by KDB, obviously.
I think Bernardo Silva is a good signing, but I'm not sure he's a Real Madrid signing right now.
He doesn't play in a 3.
He's a Real Madrid signing because you have more discipline for just one more year.
You see, the thing is like Bernardo Silva is 28, right? 26 or 28?
I think
28.
28. Okay.
More of an inside forward. He's not essentially a midfielder.
is he going to be getting into Real Madrid's side instead of Modric?
Yeah.
No,
No, he's not.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
Man,
after 1 year for sure. Modric is gonna be 38 for sure. After 1 year, he's getting into the Real Madrid side instead of Modric.
So the thing is, like, after 1 year, Bernardo Silva will be touching 30.
Yeah.
So, like, why do you want to sign a 30-year-old player for 50-60 million?
Absolute madness.
I mean, I'm not disputing the fact that Bernardo Silva is a good player. I think
He's a good player.
wonderful
Like, he
player.
doesn't fit our system. No
Yeah.
chance.
My point is this: like, why would I sign a young player like these guys for like 80 million euros, or if they take it up to whatever it is, and then I keep waiting for it to happen eventually?
Romani will be relatively very cheap, bro. Like, I think under 40
Very
million. Yeah.
Personally, the price I have seen quoted is like 40 to 60 million. The 80 million price actually came from Marca, and that was not that was later debunked. It's not true. So the thing is, like, if Tchouaméni comes, I think he has the ability to rotate with Casemiro.
Okay, so my
Maybe he
point
could
is,
even rotate with
also in the
Kroos.
range of 40 million euros, 40, 50, I think that's a cool price. But if it starts to go to like 60, 70, 80 million euros, then I think it's not a good deal, in my opinion. I think it's
Yeah. And the fact, at the end of the day, I think we have to trust the fact that the club has a plan with which they are approaching Tchouaméni, because it's not like they suddenly saw Tchouaméni and decided that they're going to sign him today. They have been following him for a long time. If what I read from Aranca Rodriguez is true, they have been following him for a long time. So let's see how it develops over the summer.
Like, he's been established, man. Like, Tchouaméni is not the guy who broke into the scene last year. He has been around for like good 2-3 years. So
yeah, of course, he broke into the scene last year, man. Last year was his big breakout season. The last season was his big breakout season.
I think something you also have to keep in mind is the fact that we talk about players like Haaland and Mbappe who can't miss in attack. I think Tchouaméni is the player that you can't miss in central defense. As a defensive midfielder. Because this guy has shades of Busquets in him, like the way I see it.
All right, then I guess
that's the lazy kind.
only time we choke.
Focus on the lazy kind. Because the Busquets.
I didn't get what you said.
Me?
Sorry, I didn't get what you said.
Me. I just said it's not Busquets' laziness that you're talking about.
No, definitely not. Yeah, but we could add Tchouaméni to the list of players, who Farouk doesn't like.
Yeah. He is a man who is very hard to please,
To be honest, I am, man.
It'll take some sort of juju, for him to be satisfied. But yeah, any final thoughts, boys, before we wrap this up? Thursday, quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey. What do you guys think? Will we get the job done? Or is
I hope we get the job done. I hope we get the job done. I hope we get the job done without any injuries. That's all. That's all I ask for.
That's just it. Like, I think if victory is gonna come at a cost, no, man, let's just get out of that tournament. Or if we can get the job with the likes of Hazards and Ceballos and East Coast, then fine, good. Let's go on.
So you think Jovic will get us over the line? Okay.
I think Lucas should do something for the boys. We've been we fanboyed after him after a couple of good games, and then the last game he became pure shit. So I think
that's unfortunately the life of a football fan is to be fickle, bro. It's what else are we supposed to do? We just gotta go by what we see.
Not everybody has Farouk's logic, okay?
So predictions. We get the win.
I let Ritvik take this one.
I think 1-0. It's for Madrid.
Man, this guy has a lot of hope. He has us keeping a clean sheet.
I have a lot of hope. Yes. Okay. I mean, I think we'll manage. I think we should just score a goal early and sit on it. That should not that's our style, but I think we should consider, since we have a lot of injuries and lack of experienced players in this game, and I think we should win this particular game. So a different strategy would work. I think 1-0 is a decent assumption. I don't know. What about you guys? What do you think?
Same. I think we should just do a smash and grab. Be conservative and try to nick one on the counter, and then sit back, relax.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. I think I agree with you guys.
I actually think it might be a very long game, to be honest. I think it might be like a 120 minutes. Like, I don't know.
You don't need 120 minutes, Farouk. We don't need
Yeah.
120 minutes. Lose rather than stretch the game to 120.
I think that's what's gonna happen, man. It's gonna be a long game, man. To be honest,
It's really painful to watch that in India because like it's still 4 then and I have to sleep. I'll rather they finish it in 90.
Yeah, fair. Exactly. And I hope, like, just like what Hoke said, we don't end up with more people injured, like we just
Yeah.
want people. Long season ahead. Yeah, we just wish, we get the job done and we leave Bilbao unscathed. Anything to add, boys?
What about the hot takes? I'm waiting for that.
I absolutely
Yeah,
forgot.
I think we are recording this afterwards. After we done.
Yeah.
Oh, we're recording after that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be, for the people out there, we're going to be doing some side content when possible, along with the main episodes. So keep an eye out on our socials and YouTube, of course. And before we wrap up, I would like to request you guys to like the video, share and subscribe if you find our content good and something that you can actually follow. And I would stress to support other Real Madrid channels as well. And a close friend of ours is Real Madrid Fan TV, who is very active on YouTube. You can go check out his channel. He's doing his own thing. He's also an upcoming content creator, and we wish all the best to his stuff as well. And we cannot stress how important it is to actually collaborate and help each other out in the scene, since we are all starting out relatively new. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We just hope this keeps going and like inspired despite the huge time schedule
Challenges.
difficulties and whatnot. Yeah, we are still here.
And we will be here.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's. I think that's a wrap. I hope we get the job done. San Mames is gonna be mad on Thursday. They're gonna be backing their team. We just gotta get the job done and get out. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.